Hi guys, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching doing the trade review for, let's see, today's Wednesday, the 10th of September. And so coming into the day, we had a couple of concepts. So one of the things that I try to do in the live market preview is set the day up to help my traders get a focus on what it is that I'm looking to accomplish, right? And right now we're in a very unique situation. We have a low volume environment, okay, where we've had a long run, right? We can show you. I'm just going to document what's basically been going on. We've had a big run up, right? Most day traders get very focused on what's been happening very recently. So we've had a long run up, and in what is generally a very poorly auctioned area, that would be this area down here, right? And so our natural reactions as traders is to think, oh, well, it's got to come back, right, and fill in some of this space, right? And so we start looking for reasons for why we're going to press the downside. So it's been my observation, and if you go back and do some research, in a low volatility, low volume environment, actually getting a downside move is incredibly difficult, right? Most of the time it either hangs up or drives higher. Additionally, one of the premises that I've been presenting every single day is the market works on a basic concept of 50-60 retraces, okay? The bottom line is until we get back below this area in general, okay, that there will be responsive buyers, which means the predominant pattern that'll take place will be one of this, where we push up, or if it's a big down day, we push back up like this. This will constitute, on down days, the gross majority of our days that we've had. Not only that, but the market's made a switch. What everyone's gotten used to has been open, small dip, and trend day up, right? Open, small dip, trend day up. And that's gone away from, that pattern has gone away from us, right? And so it's caused traders a lot of confusion at the open. So there's a couple of questions. Now, first of all is, how do I respond to the open? What do I do when I can't tell what the market wants to do? There's no clear direction down. There's no clear direction up. And as a leader in the room, I've made, and as a coach, I've made, and a trader, right? That's how I make my living primarily is trading. I've decided I'm going to do less early in the morning. I'm not going to try to capture every move or determine which way the market's going to move right out of the gate. Instead, I'm going to pause and wait. And a lot of where traders have been losing money has been in that first area because they don't know, should I hold the position for an extended move lower? Right? Those who've been trying to get pushes up have been smoked by having it reverse all the way down and come back against them. Those who try to short have consistently been burnt for anything other than scalps, and it's become exhausting for a lot of traders. The way I've resolved that is to primarily focus, for myself, primarily focus on the long side setup. Now, thanks to a little glitch in TradeStation, which has already rolled over to the new contract, I lost the chart from today, so I had to go and rebuild it based on the actual contract as opposed to the continuous contract. But even last night, and I want to show you this. This is the private Twitter feed, and I put in there, and I put gap down tomorrow. Right, this is what I'm talking about right here. I put, and this was yesterday in the evening, 24 hours ago, almost this point. Gap down tomorrow sets up a very interesting day. Potential open drive lower, and then this was the key. With the responsive buyers lower. I was looking even last night prior to the open to get long from levels lower for a push back up. So let's jump over to the chart really quick. Okay, so why do I know to do this? I know to do this because I've been through markets like this before, and I've recognized when the short side trade simply isn't working, and I'm trying to conserve I have three components that I'm spending every day when I'm trading. Number one component, my trading capital. Number two component, my emotional capital, right? Number three component, my mental capital. There's three separate bank accounts. All of them are valuable. And I want to get the greatest return for the least amount of risk of all three of those. And right now, for me, that's to the long side, right? I'm not saying short side trades won't work. I'm just saying it's easier the other way. So coming in to today, what do we have? We had essentially a market that opened slightly down, but not very down. We basically came in and we closed the gap right out of the gate, right? That put us right to the back of this support resistance zone, we had to get over this level. This was the white zone today, right here, 1991 and 3/4 to 1993 and 1/4. And I stated in the market notes and on the chart itself, which was posted, by the way, I posted about midday to the general public. I posted it yesterday evening, right? And tonight's charts are already out, by the way. The importance of the white zone. It, for me, is kind of a make or break as to where buyers are in control and where sellers are in control. And so in the market preview, I stated that I would be taking shorts from the 1991 and 3/4 level, and that I was also interested at the first move into this 1977 and 1/4. I did not say that I would take a trade from 1981.50, that I would play it by line of sight, but that what I would prefer to see is a trap from this level back up, and then I would look to take it to the upside from there. I drew this out. I will probably post that meeting so that others can see. It was a little bit dysfunctional. I had a little technical error on the charts that I had to correct. But net, the concept was safe. I laid this exact trade out in the morning for a move to the upside. Okay, so then that being said, what's the basic concept of the zones? First time into the zone, I expect responsive buyers. So if you look, we moved up into the zone, we got sellers. We came down into the zone, we got responsive buyers. First time we came down to this 1981.50, we got responsive buyers, right? If you look, this is the second time into this zone. What's the purpose of the zone? The zone is so that we can pre-plan our trades, our buys, our sells, and our stops before the market gets there. What causes the majority of traders anxiety and difficulty in gaining consistency is they constantly don't know what they are going to do, right? And as soon as they don't know what they're going to do, they have difficulty executing. They see the trade, but they don't execute it correctly. It results in losses. Okay, so what we're trying to do is lay out all our buy, sell, and exit decisions beforehand. This is following almost to a T, right, what Mark Douglas, the renowned trading coach, laid out for his trading clients, doing the exact same trade in the exact same way, pre-planning entry, exit, and stop so that you can develop consistency and you can build your trading size. The idea is not to get more trades. The idea is to get higher volume within your consistency and build your curve over time so that you can become a professional trader. Okay, so that being said, the idea was not to short. So that takes, at least not early in the day, right? So that takes this out. This was really rather difficult to get long here. However, on the retrace, once we trapped back up into this area, this retrace area right here gave a very good long location to the upside with a very low risk stop back here. Okay, so this was the second time into the zone. There was no short here. Even if you did take the short here, the 25-minute rule should have taken you out either flat or profitable, one of the two. This is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. You should have been gone even if you took this trade. The zone did its job not once but twice. Okay, so then move on up to the white zone, right? First time into the white zone, it gave you a rotation down for 2 points. Now, it would have been hard to get filled on the bid. This is one of those situations where it exceeded 25 minutes. There was little to no counter rotation to the downside, and the focus all day has been primarily to the upside, and we've broken this downtrend. I want to show you this. So we essentially have a downtrend here that's been broken that started from yesterday. If you look, and we start this from right here, okay, downtrend's now broken above. Again, these are small technical indications, but you get a backside test of that downtrend line and break out. At this point, I'm treating this somewhat as a trend day up, right? And I indicated as much. If you look in the notes, because I was already out of the trading room, the live trading room at that point, and I put in right here. Okay, so in the morning, here's what I wrote. Okay, I said, okay, guys, the chop. I said, okay, guys, this is choppy balance, and we are consolidating right below the bottom of the range. Look at yesterday. What was easy to trade, the chop or when it was moving? I would argue that when it was actually moving, it was easy and fun. This is what I meant, and then I went on. This is what I meant by pressing shorts is a bad idea. There's no strength to the downside, only long setups, okay? I want to focus on that for a couple of minutes here. This is where I made this comment, was right in here and right up into this area. Yes, while the zone did its job and it pressed it to the downside, right, for 2 points, it was the hard way. This uses up stress, emotional capital, getting this trade pulled off. Now, I want to roll later into the afternoon. And I'm going to show it with ES, even though I took the trade in NQ and I did so publicly. So when we finally pull back, you have to look. This is a concept of structure. This is, I can't go into detail here, but this is structure. This is essentially a breakout and treating this as a trend day, right? So on a trend day, you'll have structure after structure, and this was the larger structure here. What tends to happen is we break out, backside test the structure, come back up, backside test of the structure took place right here. This is where I went long the NQ call, and I said, and what I said on the StockTwits is still sitting there, and Twitter, was that I'm not long yet, but if I can get a dip, I will use that dip to pop to the long side. So long story short, let's recap this and figure out how is this that the live market preview and having the trading plan in general can improve your day. Number one, I said don't focus on the shorts. The short side has not panned out, and unless we get an open drive lower, which we did not get, right? It started to get an open drive lower and it turned into balance very quickly. Don't press shorts. Okay, so that move alone kept you, unless you were going to scale right in here and you wanted to deal with this chop, which if you do, be my guest, not my cup of tea, right? That kept you from getting smoked in here, right? So, others that I'd read on the internet that I follow, I'm not going to name any names, right? Even once we got up into this area, we're encouraging people to still look to the short side of the trade, which I thought was personally utterly ridiculous. I'm not going to say who did that, but he's well followed, and I thought it was completely wrong. This is the second time up into this area, and I did not think it would provide good resistance for a trade at all. As a matter of fact, we'd already broken out at this point. So we're already broken out. I really didn't get a long setup in here, and this is also through New York lunch, right? But once we got through this New York lunch, first of all, an enormous short squeeze in the middle of the day. You want to know why we got this enormous short squeeze in the middle of the day? Because a bunch of people kept pressing to the short side right here, expecting we were going to break to the downside. Just by being able to avoid that right there, you saved an enormous amount of trading losses up here. Next, you had to recognize and make the shift that buyers were now in control. How did you know buyers were now in control? We were above, for me at least, we were above the white zone, right? White zone, buyers below or sellers below are in control. Above, buyers are in control. On the first dip, once buyers had established control, I wanted to get long. That's how I was able to set this trade up. I can't go through the details. I was a scalping trade other than having called it and just mentioned the entry. I'm not going to go through there. I got to save some of the good stuff for the paying clients. But nonetheless, by demonstrating patience, by not getting overly involved in this area and trying to guess where we're going to drive up, where we're going to drive down, I saved stress, I saved emotional energy, and hopefully I saved a lot of capital for some people. And then the easiest trades I've been reiterating have all been coming towards the late afternoon on these consistent drives up. This is I think the third day in a row I have caught a significant move to the upside, and it is starting to add up in the P&L in a massive way. So this is what I recommend if you're following someone. First of all, don't chase methodology to methodology or quote trade caller to trade caller, right? Develop your own edge. Verify that the edge that you're using is legit. If you don't have an edge, buy an edge. You can buy it from me. There's a lot of people out there you can buy it from. There's E-mini Wizard, Bama Trader if you're looking for swing trades, right? There's a lot of guys out there that are very, very good at different types of trading. There's Forex traders out there that are very good. There's options traders out there that are very good. What I would recommend and what I would focus on is A, find someone who matches your personality. B, stop jumping from trade to trade. Establish what your edge is, right? Learn to develop patience, right? And know your edge inside and out. B, develop a written trade plan. I can't stress that enough. It's critical. C, learn how to use a spreadsheet to train your mind to understand that your edge actually works so that you can reduce your fear and your anxiety when you're taking your trades and you're managing trades, and you know exactly what stop to use and what entry to use And that is all achievable. I've achieved that with each and every one of my coaching clients that I've worked with, right? And then the last piece is be flexible. Identify when the market's not in your favor. If you can simply avoid taking a drawdown in periods where the market's hard or choppy, like in here, this is very difficult trading. If you can abstain from trading in this, these upside moves all of a sudden become very easy to capture. Obviously, cheat sheet, the long side squeeze to the upside has been consistent now for 3 weeks, and I've been taking full advantage of that. So my name is Simon. I'm with Trade and Perform Coaching. If you'd like to visit us and see what the live market preview is like every morning, send me an email to tradeandperform@gmail.com. I'm happy to extend you a 7-day pass to come in. It's $95 a month. It's by far the best value in the market. It includes my 20 years of experience, daily trade plans both in ES and in Q. Every morning, a 30-minute live market preview where I go through each and every detail of the setups that I'm looking for through the course of the day, right? Along with coaching tips, both for setting yourself up mentally and emotionally for success. And then most mornings I stay on at least through the first hour and kind of give a read of what I'm seeing going on as the market's developing. And I think for $95, I'm actually quite certain, I know for a fact, for example, E-mini Players live trading room, I believe he charges $350 a month or $300 a month for what I consider, actually I'll just come out and say it, an inferior product. So at any rate, I'm not slamming him or anyone else. Everyone has their own way of doing it. I just really believe the way that I do it really guides people towards consistent day in, day out success. And I can't tell you how important it is for me to make this project work and really to affect the lives of traders and change them from being break-even or losing traders to first consistent / break-even traders and then consistently profitable traders. It makes a lot of difference. So anyways, y'all have a great night. I hope this helped. We'll talk soon.